Good morning. Don't you love that you could just create a video out of nowhere? So I'm getting ready for work. Today is Wednesday. You know me, this video will not be edited because I don't have the time. But I wanted to my whole thing is when I get on a video, also, it's like to encourage somebody. So this is not like, oh, I want you to see me. I know I have influence. God bless me to have influence, and God bless a lot of my peers to have influence, a lot of you to have influence. But the question is, are you using the influence right? I was sitting here, I was listening. I love Denzel Washington. I'm sure we all do. And I love Will Smith. And I was just listening to Denzel Washington, and he was talking about how people send their kids to college and they'll say, make sure that you need to do this too other than college because you need something to fall back on. And it's just like, and he's like, you know what? I don't believe in that. And the funny thing is I'm listening to him speaking about, and with which Will Smith speaks about the same thing, just having a plan A, not a plan B. And it's true. And I wanted to talk about my plan A that I've been struggling for years to launch. And my plan A is hosting a salon that specializes in hair care the way that I care for my clients' hair. I want to basically show hairstylists how to perfect their skill and also be successful in their skill. Meaning, customer service, knowing how to do the hair well, that's my passion. I can do that all day and not complain about it. It's in my purpose. I'm serving people, so I know that's my purpose. So I'm listening to, what is his name? I'm listening to Denzel Washington. He's like, you don't have a plan B. And I kind of kept going back and forth about my plan B. But it's always been confirmed that plan A is the right plan. And as many of you know, if you're my friend or you just know me or you've been watching me on social media, you know that I've had a salon, and I've worked for celebrity hairstylists, I've worked for celebrities, I've been an assistant. I was an assistant for 5 years, and I've been a hairstylist for a little bit over 10 years. And I'm very young still, okay? But either way, my goal, and it will remain my goal until I do it. I had a salon and I closed the salon. And the reason why I closed my salon, because people don't know. They don't know your business. And of course, I was embarrassed and ashamed, but I didn't set my business plan up right. I was so busy being a creative, always doing hair, working on set. And these things are great, but don't ever forget that those things, after a certain amount of time, you're getting older, you're going to want to settle yourself. Men too, because it's easier for a man to get into a relationship, honestly. But for the women, if you notice, there's a lot of hairstylists that work long hours, and we're not married. We don't have families. We don't have children. Some of you do, and that is amazing. But there's a lot of us who don't, and I hear it. They're always, I hear women say, man, I just wish I had a family, but, I also have to attack my career, be aggressive, I have to get in there. And it is true. You do have to be aggressive. But let me tell you something. If you have a business plan, your business will do well because you're setting up how you're going to run this business. And so what inspired me to post this video today, as I am getting ready for work, I'm getting ready to go do some hair, I wanted to share with you all that I'm sticking to plan A. And that I hope I'm encouraging someone to stick to plan A. If plan A is you want to be a business owner, you want to be a salon owner, Micah, you want to play football, you want to go to college, whatever plan A is, and you are very purposeful about it and very passionate, you need to do plan A. Do not have a plan B. And let me tell you, when you fail plan A the first time, if you fail, because if you do it right the first time, my mama says you don't have to do it again. But if you do it right the first time, you write out the business plan, you set out the goals and the timeline. If you do all of that, you will not have to fluctuate and go back and forth between A and B, figuring out where money's gonna come from. Money, you will always have money. God doesn't want us to worry about money. He wants us to focus on his purpose, his path for us, what his purpose is, what the purpose is that we are supposed to be going towards. If you're so focused on money, That's not purpose. Money ain't purpose. Money's always going to come when you're working in purpose. And so I want to encourage whoever is, and I'm talking to myself, whoever is thinking about plan B is not an option. We're only sticking to plan A, and I don't care if you have to do it over and over again. I had a salon. I had 2 salons. I had a salon in my house, and I had a salon in downtown somewhere. Both salons didn't work. But guess what? That doesn't mean I'm going to plan B. I'm sticking to plan A, and I'm learning from everything. This man, this very wise man that has money, wealthy man. Well, I think he's just kind of rich. But he told me, he said, or takes care of his money, it could be that too. He said, you learn business by doing business. When I tell you, I was just like, okay, so yes, because I kind of regretted not going to school. You learn the business by doing the business. I'm going to learn how to do business, learn how to run my business by doing business. And I've sat with amazing hairstylists, CEOs of companies, successful salon owners. Like, I know what to do. I know how to build the salon, but you have to believe that plan A is going to work. You have to set yourself up right to make sure that you're hitting and executing all the goals, getting that timeline together. It's important that you stick to plan A, because plan A is really your passion. It's really your purpose, but you're like scared. Like, we can't be scared to do what God has already given us. We already have what we need. I always pray and I always say, God, I thank you that I lack nothing. And if I do, you supply the need. And the need is not always in other people. Sometimes it is, though. Let me say that. Sometimes it is in other people, but it's in you to set it up to be able to receive that blessing. So I just encourage anybody who ever has a plan A and you're thinking about going to plan B, you can go ahead and take plan B and you can go ahead and squash that. And let's go ahead and stick to plan A. Did I say that? Squash plan B, go to plan A. Because plan A is what's going to make you happy. You can retire and still work at plan A and not feel like you're at work. I mean, because that's where I am. I know that when I open my salon again, and let me tell you, there are people who have talked about me. There are people who have said, she doesn't know how to run a business. She's not successful. She's back and forth. She's not stable. And those people, I have people who are building businesses, and they were supposed to be friends, and they've talked about me, and they've told me that they told others. They didn't tell me, the people never tell you. They always tell somebody else, which is, and one of my friends said this yesterday, and you know what? It's true. Whatever people say behind your back is none of your business. If people are talking about you and telling you that you cannot make it, that's fine. That is their opinion. One thing you can't control is somebody else's opinion. And who wants to control somebody else's opinion anyway? But it's really important that when people talk about you, you keep going forward. You don't let what they said about you become true. You know what? Micah's not ready for a business, and she's never been consistent, and she's never did this right. Let me tell you something. It's because I've been in my craft. I've been learning how to, and it's so crazy because God will put you in positions and you got to appreciate. And God has been showing me how to perfect and do hair the right way. Like, when I tell you my clients are happy about their scalps being cleaned properly, their hair being conditioned properly, not too much heat being put to their hair. Oh, you want to see what I'm using? Grapeseed oil. Y'all know I don't play. I put it on my hair every day and every night. And I don't put a lot. Okay, this is not a hair tutorial. I am inspiring you. So anyway, doesn't matter what people say about you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. It doesn't matter. You are the only person who can control you. You are the only person that sees the vision that you have. You are the only person who can stop you from being successful. No one else can. If you're worried about somebody's, oh, you want to see what I'm using? Eco Style Gel. I put it on my edges and I brush it down. But you are the only person who can stop yourself from being successful. I am not stopping myself from being successful. I will be a successful hairstylist. I mean, I'm that already. I will be a successful salon owner, and I'm not going to own salons and just rent booths. If you're doing a business just for money, you are not in purpose. I can tell you that now. You should probably stop, because Purpose is not, I'm doing this because I want to make money, spend money, get cars, get expensive clothes that you wear one time for the gram and you give away anyway. Like, this is not for that. Purpose needs to be done. Stick to plan A, and who cares who says what about you. It doesn't matter what they say. I'm washing my hands because it's like time to go to work. But I just wanted to encourage someone. 3 points. It don't matter what people say about you. You could do anything. You could do all things through Christ Jesus. Let's go ahead and just say that. All things through Christ Jesus who strengthens you. God has blessed me to come through some crazy stuff with family when I was younger. I love my family too. But we went through some crazy stuff. That is not going to stop me from being successful. Okay? And I wasn't stable mentally and emotionally because I had situations with my mom, my parents. It's not about when you were younger. You got to get rid of the 6-year-old Micah or the 6-year-old, whoever your name is, whatever your name is. And you got to move forward. Doesn't matter what people say about you. Get it done. Stick to plan A. There is not a plan B. You will be successful. Seek God and make sure that plan A is the purpose. And believe in yourself. You're going to do great. Have an amazing day.